Hello, and welcome. Today, I want to talk about something that might seem a little unusual, but is incredibly powerful. It's about choosing the three most important mentors of your life. And no, I'm not talking about famous motivational speakers or self help gurus. I'm talking about three friends, yes, I said friends, who will be with you through every step of your journey, whether you want them there or not. These three friends are pain, death, and God. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pain? Death? God? These might sound like things you want to avoid, things you don't want to have as your mentors. But stick with me for a moment. I'm going to explain why these three are the ones who will help you grow more than anyone else ever could. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll see them in a whole new light. Let's start with pain. We all know pain, right? Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, it's something we all face in life. And honestly, no one likes pain. We run from it, try to avoid it, and wish it would go away. But pain is one of your most important mentors. Pain is not your enemy. It's actually one of your greatest teachers. Think about it for a moment. Every time you face something difficult in your life, whether it was a breakup, a failure, a loss, or even just a tough day, pain was there. And you know what happened? You grew. You learned something new. You became stronger. Pain pushes you to change. Without it, we would never improve. Pain is like your personal trainer, a trainer who will push you beyond your limits, make you uncomfortable, and challenge you to become better. At first, it hurts, but just like when you work out, the discomfort is what leads to growth. Without pain, you wouldn't change. You wouldn't evolve. You'd stay stuck. Now, let's talk about the second mentor, death. Death is the one we try to ignore, the one we hope never comes for us or our loved ones. But here's the truth. Death is not something to fear. It's something to accept, because death teaches us the most important lesson of all. Life is precious. Think about it. If we never had the reminder that life is temporary, would we live the way we do? Would we appreciate every moment, every opportunity, every relationship? Death is what gives life meaning. It's what pushes us to live fully, to chase our dreams, to love deeply, and to make the most of the time we have. I know it sounds morbid, but think about the times you faced loss. It made you value the people in your life more. It made you value your own time. Death is a mentor because it teaches you how to live. It pushes you to stop wasting time, to stop complaining, and to start living with purpose. Now, the third mentor is God. Some of you might believe in God. Some of you may not. But hear me out. God is not just a figure or a concept. God is the force that gives everything meaning. Pain and death alone can be overwhelming. But when you invite God into the equation, something beautiful happens. God gives you perspective. God gives you hope. Without God, pain and death might feel like endless suffering. But with God, you understand that there's a higher purpose. There's a reason behind every hardship, every tear, and every loss. God is the one who holds your hand through it all, who whispers to you that you're not alone, and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. When you bring God into the picture, pain becomes a teacher. Death becomes a reminder of life's value. And together, they push you to be the best version of yourself. You don't have to face the struggles of life alone. God is always with you, guiding you through the darkness and into the light. So, let's talk about what happens when you invite all three of these mentors into your life: pain, death, and God. What does that look like? It means you stop running from your struggles. You stop pretending that everything is fine when it's not. You accept that life is hard sometimes. And that's okay. You learn to embrace your pain because you know it's teaching you something. You face death not with fear, but with gratitude for the life you have. And you invite God into every step of your journey, trusting that there's a bigger plan at work. This trio, pain, death, and God, will not only help you grow, they'll transform you. They'll teach you things you never could have learned from a book or a YouTube video. They'll push you to your limits and then beyond, helping you reach heights you never thought possible. But here's the thing, you have to be brave enough to face them. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. But the greatest growth comes from the greatest challenges. You have to be willing to face pain head on. You have to look at death and say, I know you're coming, and I'll make the most of every moment until you do. And most importantly, you have to invite God into every part of your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The hardest part about all of this is fear. Fear of pain, fear of loss, fear of change, and fear of the unknown. But here's the truth. Fear is natural. It's human, but fear doesn't have to control you. When you face your fears with the strength of pain, death, and God by your side, you realize that fear loses its power. Fear of pain? That's just your mind trying to protect you, but it's actually limiting you. Pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Fear of death? Death is not the end. It's simply a part of the cycle of life. It gives your life meaning. Fear of God? God is not something to fear. God is love. And love is what will carry you through every storm. When you stop fearing, you start living. And that's when true transformation happens. So, to wrap this all up, you have a choice. You can continue to run from pain, avoid thinking about death, and try to live without God. Or you can choose to embrace all three of these mentors in your life. Pain, death, and God are not your enemies. They are the friends who will guide you to your highest potential. If you have the courage to invite them in, they will teach you lessons that no one else can. They will challenge you, transform you, and ultimately help you become the person you were meant to be. I promise you this. Life is not about comfort, entertainment, or pleasure. It's about growth. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And the only way to do that is to embrace the hard stuff, the pain, the loss, the challenges. With pain, death, and God as your mentors, there is nothing you cannot overcome. So, are you ready to take the next step in your journey? Are you ready to face life with these three mentors by your side? If you are, I can promise you one thing. The honor of transformation will be yours. Thank you for watching. And remember, true change begins when you face the things you fear most. Embrace them, and your life will never be the same again.